Another season is upon us. Welcome back to the Dugout Football Channel. Welcome to Matchweek number one predictions for the 25-26 William Hill Scottish Premiership season. Yeah, it's back. It is back. Another fascinating season is ahead of us. Obviously, a lot of questions. Will Celtic make it five in a row? Will Hearts get back third? Will Falkirk and Livingston survive? Will a surprise name potentially get relegated? And will Stephen Presley last the season as Dundee manager? All these questions will be asked and answered. But we do have a video, and we do have the first match week of the William Hill Scottish Premiership. Now, we have two games on Saturday, three games on Sunday, and then one on Monday. So let us begin. And I never thought I'd be saying this, but the first game of the new season is a 3 o'clock kickoff at Rugby Park. It is Kilmarnock against Livingston. Now, when I say Kilmarnock have a few ex-Livy players, they have five. Max Striek, Robbie McCrory, Jamie Brandon, Scott Tiffany, and Bruce Anderson. So there you go. Look, these two sides have already met in the Scottish League Cup. It was a 1-0 win to Kilmarnock. Mo Silla own goal gave Kilmarnock a 1-0 victory. And there wasn't much between the sides in that game as well. And I don't really expect there to be too much between the sides in this one. Look, I think Stuart Kettlewell is a very good manager. I think he will get Kilmarnock playing. It is a shame they've obviously lost Derek McInnes, but I do think that Kettlewell will get them playing. And yes, Livingston are back. We're back after a season in the Championship. We're back, and I'm feeling relatively easy, really. Whatever happens. Obviously, you can go and have a look at my Scottish Premiership predictions. I think I'm being reasonable with the Livingston sort of team this season. I'm not expecting too much. I'm just kind of looking and seeing what will materialize. But look, this is going to be a very, very interesting game. It's the first one of the season, and one thing I will say, we need to get our away form much, much better, because I think Kilmarnock are pretty good at home as well. But opening game, both of these sides will be sort of easing into the season. And we've already had, obviously, the Scottish League Cup so far. I fancy a draw, do you know that? Do you know something? I do fancy a draw on this one. And I wouldn't be too surprised if it did end in a draw. Obviously, the main Livingston signings you'd have to really say is Graham Carey from St Johnstone. I think that's a really, really clever signing. And we've also got Macaulay Tate back as well. And the one player I think is almost like a new signing for me is Jerome Prior, who signed a new 3-year contract, and he's going to need to be at his toes to be very, very good in this league. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go for a draw on this one. I think. I think a draw away at Rugby Park is not a bad result at all. So I'm going to go Kilmarnock 1, Livingston 1. We have a 5:30 kickoff at Fir Park, and it is Motherwell against Rangers. Obviously, it's the new manager, Jones Berku Asku, versus Russell Martin. So the battle of the new managers in this one. Look, Motherwell, all the talk is definitely about Levin Miller. I think so far he is still at the club. It'll be interesting to see if he's involved. Probably expect him to be involved. He is a wonderful footballer. Probably I would say the brightest player to come out of Scotland in a while. Let me just say that. But look, Muller will make it difficult. Muller will definitely make it difficult for Rangers. And Rangers don't seem to start seasons very, very well. So they will want to start much, much better. They did get through the Champions League. It was a 1-1 draw against Panathinaikos last night. But they managed to get through 3-1 on aggregate. So very, very well done to Rangers. They've obviously got a playoff round now to decide if they get to the group stage. And look, I think the one thing I will say, if we get our teams into Europe, like Celtic, Rangers, Aberdeen, Hibs, and Dundee United, then the coefficient will go up, and it'll be much better for Scottish teams and as well. Rangers made some good signings. Gassima, I think he's the one to watch. The Sheffield Wednesday winger who signed permanently. So Max Aarons is another one. And maybe this is the season we might see sort of. I would say Egimani. He looked really good last season for sure. So tough opening game for Rangers. Really tough opening game for them. How do I see it going? As I said, I think Motherwell will give them a game. I do think Motherwell will give them a game. But in my opinion, I think Rangers will come away with a 2-1 win. But it will not be an easy game. It will not be an easy game at all. But I'm going Motherwell 1, Rangers 2. So we move on to the Sunday games, and a warm welcome back after 15 years to Falkirk FC. Falkirk are back in the top flight, and they play Dundee United. John McGlynn against Jim Goodwin. Very, very interesting game. This match is live on Sky Sports as well. So yeah, look, Falkirk. Last season, champions of the championship. It was a really close run race with Livingston, as I said. Top for most of the season, it has to be said. But yeah, right at the end, it was getting a little bit sticky, but they managed to get out of the way, and they have strengthened, not to the extent of strengthening, I would say, but they signed Scott Bean from Celtic to give Ethan Horvath some competition, and Brian Graham from Partick Thistle, who obviously was. I wouldn't say scourge of Livingston, but he was certainly the certainly the scourge of Championship teams, and I think it's a good signing. I think it's a very experienced signing, someone who will know this league very, very well. So I think Falkirk will surprise a few, and especially with the likes of Calvin Miller, Scott Arfield in their ranks as well. Dundee United, look, I think they are going to have a good season. They are still in Europe at this moment in time. Fingers crossed that they get through tonight. I look at this game and I think it's Falkirk's first match back in the top flight. And they'll want to start well. They will want to start well, and I've got a feeling that they will. And I think it's just easing into the season. I think Dundee United will have obviously had their exploits in Europe, and I think that could be the key to this game. I've just got a feeling that maybe Dundee United's travels in Europe this week maybe gives Falkirk the edge, and I'm going to give Falkirk a 2-1 win at home against Dundee United. I think it's going to be a very, very fascinating game, but I do think Falkirk do come back to the top flight with a 2-1 win against Dundee United. Now we have Dundee against Hibernian, Stephen Presley against David Gray. Yeah, I'm still unconvinced about Dundee. Look, what I will say, they have lost a lot of experienced players this year. Jordan McGee has obviously gone to Motherwell. They've obviously lost Josh Mulligan to Hibs as well, and Lyle Cameron to Rangers. That's a lot of experience that they've lost, and I am worried for them. I am worried for them. Now, let's just say that. I think they'll want to make their home ground a fortress, because last season under Tony Docherty, I never understood why they got rid of him. I know that they didn't have a great season, Dundee, but they stayed up pretty comfortably, and they'll definitely be wanting to show that as well. But yeah, Hibs again, another team that will be hoping to get through this evening. They are playing FC Midgetland tonight as well, so fingers crossed for them. If they get through that, then that's a really, really big scalp to take out FC Midgetland as well. But Hibs, they have strengthened in really, really good places as well. And yeah, obviously, as I said, Josh Mulligan is going to be coming back against his old club, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of reception that he gets. But obviously, they have signed Junior Hoylett to a new contract as well. Look, I think I think Hibs are a very, very good side. I think they are going to be as good as last season. And I do think that if they, as I said, if they get past the FC Midgetland, then who knows? Who knows what their season's going to be? But if they manage to get past FC Midgetland, that will be a fantastic scalp for Scottish, not just Scottish football, but for European football, to say the very, very least. How do I see this one going? I think the fact that Hibs are at home in the Europa League, I think, is really, really impressive. I think it's going to be very, very good for them. But obviously, Dundee, home in front of their fans, they'll want to have a good start to the season. I don't see it. I think Hibs go away with a 2-0 win. I'm going to go for Dundee 0, Hibernian 2 in this one. And now it is the turn of the champions, Celtic against St Mirren. It'll be obviously Championship Flag Day. It'll be obviously unfurling that Championship flag. And Celtic, I think the signs are there. Obviously, Kieran Tierney is back. I think that's a really good signing. If he can stay fit, is the next question. I think he'll be absolutely fine. But I think it's a lack of signings. They are maybe getting. Apologies if I say this name wrong. Jemai Simpson Pusey from Manchester City on a loan deal. So I think that will definitely bolster the defense as well. But Celtic fans are getting a bit agitated, and their legends are coming out and saying they're a bit agitated as well with the amount of transfer business that's happening at Celtic. Look, I'm going to say this now. I think as much as people are looking sort of towards, sort of a resurgent Rangers, I still fully expect Celtic to go on and win this league. It's just the experience of obviously Brendan Rodgers and the fact that he's, still there as well. And look, Russell Martin will be a very good manager for Rangers. I've no doubts about that. But yeah, we're talking about St Mirren. And again, another team that have had a bit of an upheaval in players coming in. We'll be interested to see if Shamal George makes his Premier League debut for St Mirren, ex-Livingston, and obviously on loan from Wycombe Wanderers as well. But I think if you look at this game, Celtic will be one to start well, and I do think they will start well. I am a bit worried about Celtic defensively. I will be honest, I am a little bit worried about them defensively. They do seem to have like a couple of home games and then concede. And I think St Mirren have players that can definitely hurt you. I can definitely say that. I'm going to go Celtic 3, St Mirren 1. I think Celtic will win, but it will be a very, very I wouldn't say nervy affair, but I think St Mirren will make it difficult for them. I do think that they will win by 3-1. And now we have a Monday night game, and yeah, this is deja vu yet again. Last season, Hearts against Aberdeen, start of the season. And we've got it again. But what we will do, say, is we have Derek McInnes against Jimmy Thielen in the dugouts. Look, Hearts for me, there is no excuses this season. The amount of recruitment that they have done, yes, it's obviously on proven players, but from seeing in the Scottish League Cup, Claudio Braga, he looks a really, really good signing. Alexandros Kizaridis, he looks a really, really good wee winger. So I think Hearts got an exciting team, and obviously tying down Lawrence Shanklin to a new contract as well is absolutely fantastic for Hearts. Look, Aberdeen, Scottish Cup winners, so they do have a trophy to defend later on in the season. I think Aberdeen will be good again to watch this season. Look, they had a fantastic start to last season, and I do think that they probably will take a bit of time to get going. They are guaranteed, as I said, group stage football, whether that is the Europa League or whether that's the Conference League. They are guaranteed group stage football, so they will have European football coming to them at Pataudry this season. As I said, I do think because Hearts are in front of their home crowd, they'll obviously want to start well, and it's obviously the home bow of Derek McInnes, of course. I'm going to go Hearts win. I think it'll be a comfortable win for Hearts, and don't be surprised if one of their new signings gets on the score sheet. Claudio Braga has been scoring goals for fun. I think he's got 4 or 5 in the Scottish League Cup. He scored against Sunderland in pre-season, of course, as well. He does look a really, really good player, and obviously Lawrence Shankland. I think that's the biggest coup Hearts could get is keeping Lawrence Shankland as well. This game, going to go Hearts 2, Aberdeen 0. So there we go, guys. There are my predictions for the 25-26 Scottish Premiership season. I'll go through them very, very quickly if you have missed them. Kilmarnock 1, Livingston 1, Motherwell 1, Rangers 2, Falkirk 2, Dundee United 1, Dundee 0, Hibernian 2, Celtic 3, St Mirren 1, and Hearts 2, Aberdeen 0. So there we go, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please get your predictions in the comments section down below. And of course, there will be more videos coming up. Please stay tuned. I have spoiled you this week for sure for Scottish football, and there will be more to come very, very soon. But take care. Bye-bye for now.